Hey, friends, and welcome back to Her Intentionally. This is the podcast about choosing to be intentional because thriving does not happen by accident. And y'all already know it's your girl, Kasha. I'm your host.
And I'm your host, Jasmine.
And before we get started today, we do have a game lined up and we have a good conversation lined up. But Jazz, how are you feeling today?
Girl, I feel really good, y'all. I woke up on the right side of the pillow. Okay. I feel energized, and I'm happy to be here.
You were a little giddy this morning.
Yeah, I am. And I love it. I love myself like this. I hate when, life just kind of takes me out of this element. If I could just stay like this all the time, that would be A1.
Did you do anything different this morning, or?
No, I think less sleep. Maybe I'm just,
delirious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Delirium has officially kicked in. Got it.
How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel really good. I was traveling a little bit over the weekend and over the week. So, you know how it feels like when you're traveling, you're just getting back home. You kind of got to settle back into the routine and stuff like that. So I feel a little bit more settled since we're midweek. And then also I got to do a lot of my morning routine. I got to do my eye patches, my face sculpting. I had some tea. Ooh. I had some positive affirmations coming
the whole thing.
A little meditation. Yes, I'm feeling good. And I'm feeling excited to jump into this game. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so the game we have today is red flag or green flag. Y'all know this one. We played this before. And so I'm going to list some scenarios out. And then you're going to tell me if it's a red flag or a green flag. Okay? Okay, so I'm going to start off and then you're going to hop in and get in where you fit in. Okay? All right, so the first one is a woman makes significantly more money than her partner. Is that a red flag or a green flag?
I don't think it's a red flag. I really think if y'all play y'all cards right, it could be a green flag.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's a problem, especially in this day and age.
Yeah.
So I say green flag. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. So I'm gonna do you.
Okay.
A man is uncomfortable being financially supported by his partner.
I don't think that has to be a red flag just off the bat.
Okay.
I feel like it depends on the situation.
Okay. And how he reacts to everything after.
Yes, because I feel like a lot of men aren't uncomfortable with the woman taking care of everything or being financially supported, you know what I mean, by the woman. So it don't have to be a red flag, but it don't automatically have to be a green one either. We got to play that by ear. Okay, so here we are. Keeping separate bank accounts after marriage.
I think that's a green flag.
Yeah.
Financial literacy will teach you that, some stuff shouldn't be private. I think it's okay to have a little checkings account separate from joint accounts or investment accounts and all that stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
I concur.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Expecting the higher earner to contribute more financially.
I don't know. You know what? A lot of these is kind of they feel situational.
Yeah,
kind of. Because I could definitely see where the higher earner would be annoyed by being expected to contribute more financially. But then I can also see where it would be it would make sense.
Situational.
Yeah, situational. Another situational moment. And the last one is one partner stays home while the other builds their career.
Personally, I think that could be a green flag because there's seasons for everything. And, if y'all are raising a kid, somebody's going to have to do it. Everybody has a part to play. Mm-hmm. So I think in the bigger scheme of things, I think that's a green flag. If it's healthily done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. My answer's a little different.
What do you think?
I think it's a red flag.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's a red flag because I feel like everybody should have the opportunity to build their career.
Okay, but you have the opportunity, but that's not your focus right now.
Okay, but how long is not
by your choice?
If it's by your choice.
Yeah. Not because they say you can't change. No.
Okay.
You can, but it's in the season of your life. It's okay, I can put that in the backseat for now.
Right.
And so that person can still chase their dreams, right?
I don't know.
You can still chase your dreams if you want to.
Oh, if you want to.
Yeah, so you just deciding that I'm just taking a little...
Let me read. One partner stays home while the other builds their career. Okay, if you decide or choose to stay home and let the other person build their career.
Yeah, but I guess if it is by default, then that is a red flag. I agree with you.
So that game kind of flows us a little bit into what our conversation piece is for today. You can kind of catch the theme of it, right? Mm-hmm. So the conversation is all about women and our independence and what that might look like and how that might change or affect relationship dynamics, especially when the woman becomes the breadwinner. So, Jazz, when you think about independence as it relates to like being a woman, what does that mean to you?
Independence to me means like freedom. It means like the freedom to make your own choices, make your own money, you know, and just be able to empower yourself to like the highest version of yourself, like taking control of your life, like all of those things.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely feel like the same thing. I feel like, independence is like being able to establish like some financial freedom or financial stability for yourself. Definitely being able to like shape your own direction in life. I also feel like it's like taking responsibility for your choices, like making a choice and standing in the choice, not necessarily looking to other people or external influences to make major decisions for you. Because I do feel like sometimes you could be financially independent and pay your own bills and stuff, but you still might look to people to make major decisions for you in life. And so to me, like, that kind of
it gives dependent
and it kind of like skews the autonomous like factor of it just a little bit. I also think that independence is can be emotional as well. It's like, do you refer to self for your own happiness, for your own sense of self-worth, or are you looking for someone else to fulfill certain feelings or to make you feel like a certain way, you know? Because I feel like I hear that especially a lot, like in relationships, like, oh, they just weren't making me happy anymore, you know?
Like that was ever their responsibility in the first place.
Yeah, like that's a self-motivated thing. You ain't getting into that.
Yes, because it is a misconception to think that like somebody else is supposed to make you happy. I feel like I used to watch like all the love shows and stuff, and it seemed like the men was like pursuing the women, or they were supposed to make you, you know, like complete, or you know, that you needed them in order for like that happy ending feeling or whatever. And I feel like that's just a big misconception, because when you get older, it's like, whoa, wait a minute, this person actually doesn't even have any control over my mental state and my emotional state, in the matter of fact of what makes me happy and what makes me sad. Like, I'm in complete control of that.
Right. Yeah. And I feel like when people depend on that, I feel like that becomes like to the detriment of the relationship at the end of the day, because it's like you have to be self-reliant to be able to regulate your own emotion, to be able to get like your emotional needs met. You can't be like dependent on someone else to do that, because it's like you can't always make someone act or behave the way you want them to. So like it's like, what is going to happen to your emotions if the person is not behaving exactly as you want them to behave? You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, like it's kind of even crazy to want to even put all that pressure on somebody else.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like the relationship should be like an additive.
Yes.
So what you already are.
A little like
a little razzle dazzle.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Like not the end all be all.
Right.
But as we're thinking about like independence and we're defining what that means to us, do you feel like the ideal of an independent woman has changed over time?
I do. And I feel like, well, part of that, we are more able to be independent women these days. And I mean, to its full capacity, whether it's like making money in the career space, in the home space, like we just have more, there's just more access to things now. And I think that just had a lot to do with like the way society was back then. But also I feel like social media plays a big part in that as well. When it comes to like what we think that looks like to us.
Right. Yeah. I agree with you that I think that society shaped that a lot, because I feel like in a lot of ways it's like we've been conditioned or socialized to believe that like women have a certain place. And even that men have a certain place, you know? And it's like you said, like as the decades have changed, women have gotten more rights. I mean, women didn't even have the right to have credit until like the 70s. You know what I mean?
It's not
like,
funny,
it's not funny, but it's kind of crazy because it's like the 70s really ain't that long ago.
Right, it's mind blowing.
That's like 50, 60 years. That's like kind of like in its infancy.
Like our grandparents were like just getting into their prime.
Right, exactly. So when I think about women of those times and maybe a little bit earlier, I could see why relationships were more of like a survival tactic in a sense.
A necessity.
A necessity, right? Because you kind of needed the man to be able to like buy a home, like open a bank account, like, you know, have credit, like do all of those things that would like require credit, maybe like buy a car or anything like that. You had to have someone like with you and be able to depend on that person. So I do feel like independence is definitely changing like as time progresses, but I'm not sure if if we always see like, I feel like sometimes like I'm an independent woman, like it the pendulum swings a little bit too far sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like that's when we have to think about like masculine and feminine, right? And I think a lot of times when we are stepping into the role of being like this independent woman, we feel like you have to be tough. Like you have to be able to withstand, you have to have tough skin, right?
Right.
And you gotta be strong,
right.
In order to be independent and a boss and like, you know, have your own say. So what do you think about that?
I think, well, okay. I do think that like maybe there is a lot in the social zeitgeist, like this need for women to feel like they need to prove that they can take care of themselves or prove that they could be independent. And I'm saying women, like it ain't me. It was me. It was me too. I did feel like that. But I grew up and my grandmother always told me like have your own money. And so I think that also like coming from a household with like multiple brothers and sisters where everyone was like, I don't know, had their own accomplishments in a lot of ways. Like everyone was super athletic and super smart. Like it just felt like you needed to be able to hold your own. And I always felt like I was like proving myself in some way. And I think that followed me into relationship, like especially being like, well, I'll say, my brother was like a star football player.
Okay.
And so everywhere I went, even though I was good in sports and I was very smart, everywhere I went, I was always his little sister, which I was okay with, right? Okay. But just note, right? And then also my husband was like a star football player. So then I felt like it was like, I don't know, I just never really wanted to be like such and such's wife or such and such's girlfriend or such and such's sister. Like it was always important for me to feel like I could stand on my own accomplishments and have my own identity and my own thing before a relationship or anything else encompassed me. So I did have that need to be like, I gotta keep my head down. I gotta work. I gotta grind it out. I'm independent. I'm taking care of myself and all of it. You know what I mean?
That's actually funny. But I noticed like whenever I first started like dating guys like out of college or whatever, I was like super independent. Like I had like 3 or 4 jobs at one time, like stupidly independent. And that was so attractive to them. Like when guys would find out like all I had going on for myself, they were just like, I love that about you. And I think that became like a little intoxicating to me as well, like just feeling like, oh well, I'm doing my shit, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, but also I'm attracting more men because they see me like in my light, like, you know, standing in my power.
Do you feel like, okay, so you're saying that you feel like because they were able to see you when you're like in your power, it attracted more people, like more guys,
and that made me want to keep,
it made you want to keep being in it.
Yes.
So do you feel like that was like detrimental for you?
No, I think it kind of just like was a battery in my back, and I think that kind of brought me to the point to where you said like you was doing it until you just wasn't doing it anymore. When I got to a certain point, it was like, okay, I was just being more, I noticed like I was being more masculine, and I was being more like, I guess like picky, passing up on like certain guys that were actually like good guys because I was just like so bullheaded at the time because I felt like I had to be that way to keep the image and keep like all that I had going on. Yeah. So I do feel like it was detrimental in the long run, but I grew out of that, you know. Yeah. I learned from that. So.
Yeah. And what do you feel like pushed you into, I guess, like a different space where you were able to kind of grow out of that a little bit?
I noticed I was like getting really hard. Like I just wanted to be like more softer. I wanted to present myself more in a more softer, feminine way. And so I had to like dial it back a notch and not like minimizing myself in a way to where, you know, I can't be powerful or I can't be like super successful, but just like, I don't want to say like playing my role, but like kind of like just stepping into my role as like the woman in a relationship and kind of like letting things progress that way. Yeah.
I definitely feel like too, I feel like once I was able to like find safety in my relationship, I feel like I was able to soften a little bit. But I think that that's what it is a lot of times for women. I feel like especially if you come from a household where you feel like you have to take care of yourself or you have to make sure your own self is good because nobody else has your back, you know, the same way you're gonna have your back, then I feel like you're not going to be able to soften and relax into the feminine just a little bit more until you feel like you have like safety and like that foundation built in a relationship. You know?
I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. So when we think about like these topics that we kind of flowing around. It's also bringing us to the idea of when women became breadwinners.
You know, something about it that really just ruffles people's feathers is when you start talking about income and the woman being the breadwinner. And so why do you think that the income changes like the power dynamic in the relationship? Or does it?
I feel like I think that it depends on the nature of the relationship and the dynamic. And I also feel like it depends on the personality type of the people, because I don't think that it has to change the relationship. I think it just depends, right? But I think that for some people, money equals power. It does something to the ego, you know? So I feel like that's why a lot of times you'll see the dynamic change in a relationship, because people really think if I have the money, then I get the power. I have the say so in the relationship, yes. And then whoever is not making the money, it's like you have to just acquiesce to whatever the person in the power position is saying and doing, you know?
That almost feels like, I don't know, that kind of triggers something in me. It makes you feel like a child. It makes it feel like you're still in like the parent-child dynamic. Yeah. And that kind of just takes me out of the relationship, because you're not my father.
Right.
We are partners. And so I do think that, I don't know, you would probably have to just die to the ego, or like really take the ego out of the relationship, for even if it's like a dynamic of the woman making the most money. Like you really got to take the ego out, because otherwise I think it's not digestible.
It's not digestible. And I think a lot of times too, like, well, I don't even think it's just a man thing. I think sometimes for people in general, money tends to give us what our self-value is, or what our sense of self-worth is. So we feel like, okay, I'm the earner, so I'm more important. What I have to say needs to go. Yeah. Like, you know, it feels like, I don't know, it's like it validates us in a certain way. You know what I mean? So I feel like you'll see those dynamics play out in relationships where, especially like, if you are talking about a man in particular, where men have been told and socialized this certain way that their job, their existence is to protect and to provide. Right. So I feel like for some men, it's like, well, I'm providing, so that's what makes me a man. So I'm doing my thing. You know what I mean? So I feel like, it's like, it's just that I think that money has, for a lot of our society, has made us feel like that's where our value lies, right? Productivity.
No,
you know?
I definitely agree with that. But so, what do you think that the contribution to the relationship should be just about more than money?
Well, I personally think so. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because I feel like, well, I don't think that a relationship can survive in a healthy environment when there's only just like financial contribution that's happening. Right. For me personally, I think that relationships have to have a lot of give and take, like the reciprocity that you were talking about earlier. I think that there has to be respect, there has to be trust there has to be like some emotional connectivity there, right? You know, support, empowerment. So I feel like that's what really just helps to kind of like create that equal partnership in relationships, at least in my relationship dynamic. But when you think about relationship and think about partnership, like what do you feel like equal partnership looks like for you?
Kind of what I said earlier, just like reciprocity, just being us both being full and continuously like pouring into each other. Not necessarily trying to meet all that person's needs, but in areas where you have more of and that person has less, just like, you know, balancing things out in that way.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, I feel like so too. I feel like it's like, to me, I think it's like more about being able to look directly across the aisle and see your partner like standing toe to toe with you. Not necessarily that you need to see them like underneath you or behind you. It's like they are on side of you. Yeah, that's what equal partnership would look like to me. Like we're on side of each other in decision making and how things, you know, are flowing in the relationship. Right. If you think about like security in relationships as well, it's like, what would make you feel secure in a relationship?
I think my number one thing is like loyalty. It starts there for me. I feel like I could probably put that above like money security. It's the loyalty aspect, and just being like a trustworthy partner, somebody that can be trusted and things like that, because it goes far beyond like just being faithful in a relationship. It's like that's just one side of it. Can you be committed to our goals? Can you be committed to like what we're building over here?
That's right.
So yeah, That's kind of like how I feel about that.
That's solid. Yeah, I feel that.
Same.
Yeah, I feel the same, and I think that security. When I think about security, I feel like it has to like come with a foundation that's built. Like to me, it's like building a foundation that has like a friendship that's built there. Because I feel like when relationships have friendship that's built, I feel like it makes it easier to kind of weather like the storms or the challenges that come along. Like the foundation has to be there. But I think the security is also like, like trusting, like you said, like trusting that you're going to respect me and value me and be kind to me even if you're upset. Because I think that also like how people argue or how people are when they get upset is like it's like important information. It's important information for you to be able to get, because then you can really see what's what. You know? So it's like trusting that you're still going to be the same whether you're upset or not, whether you're having bad days or whatever the situation may be. I trust you. I trust in your loyalty. I trust in your decision making. We trust each other's leadership. We're trusting in each other's communication, and we're just trusting in the foundation that we build.
Especially when it comes down to like becoming one, whether you're married or like building a household together. I was watching this show. It's called Hustle and Heart Houston.
Oh, I heard of it.
Okay.
I heard this show, but I haven't seen it.
Okay, one of the girls, the woman of color, DeJour, the makeup artist. Her. She's on there with her husband, and cool. They are going through a divorce right now. And it wasn't over like cheating or anything. It was because he made poor business moves when it came to their assets and their money and stuff, and she felt like she couldn't move on past that point. Like she felt like she could no longer trust him. So that's why when I talk about like trust, when you start to build with a person, like you have to be able to trust that person's gonna make sound decisions for the both of you. You know what I'm saying? Not just like them having like their goals in mind. Like they really have to consider the full partnership and like what y'all are building. Like it has to be as important to them as it is to you.
For sure. Yeah. And you know what? To that point, I think also it's like trusting that. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get the hell out the way. And let the person who has the most expertise, like, lead that aspect. I think, like, if my partner is better with finances, then he should lead finances. If I'm better with whatever other thing I'm better with, then I should lead that thing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like it's more, like I said, like, pointing to each other to make, like, like, the full thing work. But, yeah, like, she couldn't move past that. And as a man, he felt like he had a lot of pressure on him because she was the breadwinner at the time. And so he started making these investments and things like that. And it got to the point to where obviously, you lose money, but he kind of was like, I'm the man. I need to be providing more. So let me risk more to try to get more. And then he just ended up losing a lot of their assets.
And losing his wife even in the process.
For sure. And she just could not bounce back from that because I guess like most of it had been like the bulk of her money. And so it's different. Like when money comes into play, it don't matter how much you love somebody. If you've worked hard for like your career and your money, like, and somebody takes that from you or y'all don't agree on it and they do something with it, like, that could make you like dead the relationship because it's like, I'm feeling disrespected. I can't trust you. Like, where was your head? Like, you weren't communicating. So, do you even value our partnership?
That's right. It's like we're not even a team because you wouldn't made that decision like without it.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's to me, I see it the same as like with someone who goes and make like a large purchase, you know, and you're not in on the purchase.
Or from y'all joint account and gonna make a big purchase. Like, what are you doing?
Like, like we should have talked about that. And you know we should have talked about that.
I think so.
Yeah. Dang, that's crazy. I didn't know that she was on the show.
It's a really good show. I like watching it. I like reality TV.
So. I like reality TV too. But it's such a sad thing because in a sense it's like he was only taking those risks because he felt the need to like be the man and feel like he needed to provide and feel like he was falling short of that. So he was like, I gotta take some big risks so I could get the big reward, and it just didn't work out for
him. And he was like
situation.
completely caught off guard when she wanted to like go through with the divorce. To him it's like, well, I didn't think it was that deep. Like, yes, I know I lost our money, but you're still my wife and I'm still your husband. Like, but I guess she just felt so betrayed, I think, ultimately.
Because you said he didn't tell her.
Right, he didn't tell her, like, to the extent of what he was doing.
Yeah.
And how much he was losing and where he was pulling it from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you breaking, like we talked in one of the previous episodes, like, you're a woman, you're strong, you got your own business, and you breaking your back, you know what I mean, to, like, break generational curses or to build that wealth, and then somebody start moving your shit around and not telling you or using more than what they said, you know, it's just like,
oh yeah, it's the betrayal.
Yeah, it's the betrayal for sure.
Dang, I hate to hear that. I really hate to hear that because I really do feel like to keep relationships together is like, you know, it's so much work that has to go into keeping the relationship functioning and keeping it healthy. So it's like, dang, I really hate to hear when it don't work out.
When it don't get out.
Yeah.
And they had my last take on this little show, but they had been together. I think they were like high school sweethearts or something.
Wow.
So they've been together for like close to 20 years or something. So they actually grew up together. So it's like, I mean, you've been with your partner a very long time. So could you imagine something like that? And then exactly,
I couldn't. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So no, unfortunately.
Yeah. So this feels like a good place to kind of wrap up the conversation for today. And I just want to leave you guys with a practical tool for the week. And this is just an evaluation, okay? So you can do this with your friendships, romantic relationships, parent-child relationships, sibling relationship, any kind of shit that you were in, okay? This is a drill that you can do. You're going to get yourself a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle of that thing, write the pros on one side, the cons on the other side, and you're going to ask yourself, does this relationship feel equitable? Do you feel valued? Do you feel seen? Do you feel heard? Do you feel respected? Those are some of the things that you're looking for. And this will give you a good, I feel like, assessment of where you are in your relationships. And it might even, you know, help you trim the fat on some of them.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it'll be very reflective. So you could even learn a thing or two about yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely you can. So remember, guys, being intentional is a practice. So have some grace with yourself while you're going there.
Yes, and as always, it was so nice chatting with you guys today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit your notification bell so you don't miss when we drop that heat. Okay? We're going to see y'all in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.